welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an AMX Canon Dassault 105. It's the Tier 8 French tank destroyer, the premium tank destroyer, and it's located on the North Spawn of Murovanka, and it's under the command of, well, it's not Rusty. It's Rusty, I think it's on Rusty's account, but it's actually Jazz who's playing this one. And she's got the 105mm armed tank destroyer, which is extremely effective, this little beast. It's got good camo qualities, good penetration for a 105mm gun, and, well, she's off. Now, it can do 390 alpha with that 105mm gun, and the reload takes 11.5 seconds if you've got a good crew and a rammer. It's actually got good view range as well, 360 meters view range, and the shell velocity is very high, so it means that what you point at, you normally hit. You don't have to slightly move the target, even if the target's moving quite fast, you're normally going to hit on the target. And Jazz has taken it up into the bushes, overlooking the western side. That's a smart move for the moment, because there's a group of enemies going straight into, or group of her teammates rather, going into the Magic Forest. And Jazz needs to cover this area until the heavies get to the centre. Okay, I think they've got far enough in, and we've spotted some enemies, an E25 and a T3485M. So Jazz has moved up to the forward position. She knocks the tree down to give her a bit more cover, but she moves to one side just so she's not going to be sitting in the tree. And for a moment there, I thought she saw the KV3 outline, but there's a T71. Shots. Oh, well, she tried a snapshot, and she's picked up some damage assist for spotting the KV3. Fires a blind shot at the KV3. Oh, there he was. Yes, so she was right to do that. Going for a hit. Oh, ricocheted off him. But he's now in the gap, I think, in the centre. The KV2's trying to get in there, trying to get shots. I'm not sure that KV2... It's actually got the 158mm. I think it's actually got one of the smaller or lesser guns. And there's a T28 prototype, and Jazz locked onto him, fired around him, 450 hit points. That's a high roll. He's gone back below the ridgeline, so she fired. Now she'd hit the ground, but I think she'll expect that T28 shot to poke up again. T71 looking towards the south. I think he's going to try coming north. Jazz fires a quick round at him. No. KV3. I think he's trying to get through that gap. So she tries a blind shot. Worth the shot. There's the T71. Yes, he is. He's trying to come this way. And at least our teammate, the Scorpion G, got around into him. So he's lost a fair bit of hit points already. Jazz can finish him off if he comes up this way again. The Scorpion G's got quite a slow shell, whereas Jazz has got a very fast one. She locks onto the T28 prototype, gets a hit straight away, pulls back just in case she was spotted. She wasn't. No sixth sense gone off, but she was right to pull back, because if you think you might have been spotted, even if sixth sense hasn't gone off and you pull back, then obviously it's your benefit. The Scorpion just got hit by the enemy Arty. Jazz is going for the T3485, puts him out of his misery. That's her first kill. Doing well. She's keeping these enemies suppressed because, oh, bounced around off the frontal armor. The frontal armor on the CDA is 100mm. The armor on the side is dreadful, and Jazz has just been stunned by enemy Arty fire. She's waiting for the stun to wear off before she looks up again. I think the Arty round landed to her right because there's a shell crater there. Oh, FV4202 doesn't get a hit there. Now that's a tier 8 premium medium, and she knows where he was last seen, but she's not going to fire just yet. Now it's KV3. Didn't go through the armor. She's pulled back just in case she was spotted. Another wise decision. The Scorpion G's gone a bit further back. I think he also senses that KV3. It's going to be a bit of a problem. In fact, I would say actually it might be to Jazz's advantage to skedaddle this direction to find a new firing position, because it looks like the enemy is starting to encroach on this area. And from this set of bushes, the one she's going to, just over here, she could get shots on the enemy and then relocate if she needs to quickly. A nice set of bushes just here, you see? And the ones at the front. But obviously the ones that are a bit further up to the right, they're a bit exposed. There's that FB402. He's up on the hill, but over the ridgeline, so that we can't see him at the moment. We might see the KB3 soon, though. I think he's headed towards where Jazz was located. Doesn't realise she's pulled out. And that GW Panther, he needs to move east as quickly as possible. So does the M44. They need to get out of there, because if they stay where they are, they're going to get hit by the enemy heavies. Okay, Jazz has picked up another position. She could send a message in chat. I'd send it to the Arty, say relocate, relocate. Yep, they're just not paying attention. The Scorpion's still ahead of them, you see, sitting in those bushes. And I think, yes, Jazz, or is it Jazz? It's the P43 Tur. He's actually telling them, I think, pay attention to this. And there's some enemy tanks in the middle. I think that's a Tiger in there as well. Tiger 131. Jazz is getting ready to receive that T28 prot and the KB3. And possibly even the T28 prots. There's the Tiger 131 in the centre. Again, he's just over the ridge line, so we're going to have to pop out of the bush, get shots on him, and he disappears. Jazz fires around in. Anyway, there's the KB3. He's been spotted. Scorpion's seen him. We're getting back into the bushes before he sees us. We've got a good view range, remember. I did say the view range is 360 meters. And that round didn't go through. I don't think that touched him. I think that just went near him. But those Arty needs to get out of there quick. They just... Oh, the M44 has noticed the difficulty he's in. Jazz is locked on. She tracked him. She's in the perfect position to shoot. Oh, lost the lock there. Unfortunately, we also lost the GW Panther. The enemy SU-8 managed to take him out. We're 2 tanks down. We were 2 tanks up only a short while ago. Now we're 2 tanks down, and Jazz is really going to have to do something to defend this cap area. Now we're 3 tanks down on the enemy. Now, this is a tier 8 game. Jazz is top tier, which means a lot of responsibility on her. And she gets a lovely shot into that KB3 there. That's 372 hit points. The M44 is retreating. He's stunned. He realises the trouble he's in, and Jazz finishes off the KB3. And that's the major threat that was near her. Now, the enemy Arty's still firing in. He just got a hit on the M44. And the M44 fired back, but he's now dead. He's gone. If only he'd listened to Jazz, or he'd moved earlier, I think he could have still been alive. There's an E25. Can she get a shot? No outline. She didn't fire because she might hit the T71 instead. There's the T28 prod. Coming over the ridgeline to get shots. She's got to come fully over the ridgeline. Okay, she's moving up. There's no reason to stay here for the moment. Oh, there's something you can shoot from here. There's a Churchill 7. Can we get shots on him? Yes, we can. Just sailed over him. I think that explosion was down to Jazz's shell. It may have hit something that was explosive or flammable. Well, there's only 3 left on Jazz's team. There's 5 on the enemy team. They've got 2 tank destroyers, 2 Arty, and 1 heavy. And that heavy is the Churchill 7 that she saw. The tank destroyers are the Strip S1 and the T28 prototype. But we know that she's hit the T28 prototype before. In fact, she got 2 shots into him, so he's badly wounded. Now the good thing about the CDA, the Canon Dassault, it is actually quite nippy. So it's got good mobility. That's because it's got no armour. And that means if Jazz was to go south to find where the rest of the enemy team was, she could probably get back to her capping in time to get a reset if the enemy did try to cap out. Well, T28 Pro is nearby, and so's the Churchill 7. She's skirting the edge of the forest at the moment. Remember, she's not really a brawler, and this TD is, well, it's not the greatest to aim at the enemy. It's good if you're firing from a sniping position, as Jazz has been doing, but it's not really a brawling tank, so I wouldn't really treat it as such. So she's right to avoid those two. It looks like they're trying to engage our players, so the Steer and the T-71. But Jazz is going to the back of the enemy area, and I think she's going to try and find the enemy Arty. And remember, this gun has got 390 alpha, so she could probably one-shot both of the Arty. The Arty we're looking for, one's an S51, the other's an SU-8, both Soviet. Don't know which guns they've got, but I think the SU-8 will probably have the 152mm gun, whilst the S51, well, he could have the 203mm or the 152. Somewhere around here. I think normally Arty in the South Swarm will tend to go to the west. They tend to move to the left side of the battlefield, and there's good reason. There's lots more cover on this side, plus of course you can avoid the tanks coming out of the Magic Forest, and she's found the S51, and I don't think he's spotted her yet. Sixth Sense hasn't gone off, and she takes him out with one shot. There's the SU-8. And she got in with one shot too, so yes, she's now got a Pascucci's medal, and they've evened scores up. There's 3 apiece on both sides now. What's going to happen now? Because remember, the enemy, she's hit both of them. At least I think she's hit the Churchill. No, has she? No. Maybe not, but she certainly hit the T28 prototype. I think she's going to be super sneaky and come around the battlefield and try and attack from an angle they're not expecting it. Okay, he's going to have a sit in the bush here for a moment. See if the enemy comes back to their own cap. One of our guys is capping, and there's the T28 prototype, and yes, he's got very low hit points. Have we got a shot? No, we haven't. He's the other side of the ridgeline. And here's the Striv. They've taken out the T28 throat, locked on, fired one round in, pulled back, we bounced the round from the Striv. He's got a fast reload. We've got a long, slow one, but she's popping up to kill him off. Yes! Wins the game. Or is it? No, there's still one to kill. The Churchill 7. Okay, well, they're halfway through the cap, and that's the 2-minute hooter. Now, Jazz can easily take out this Churchill. He's isolated now, he's on his own. The T-71 stays in the cap, and the Steel Waffenträger helps, then they can get this last kill. The T-71 will be tempted to decap, and it might be a good idea to go around the cap rather than across it, because that might assist the cap to finish. We want the T-71 to decap now. Oh, well, we're going to cap out. Okay, so we've taken the win. It would have been nice, actually. They had 3. They could have probably gone after that Churchill 7 and killed him off on a no-cap kill all. But anyway, at least it was a win. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And it's a first-class tanker for RustyNz, or rather Jazz, in the AMX Canon Dassault 105. She picked up a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. She got 5. She got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for her own vehicle. And out of the Epic medal, she picked up a Pascucci's medal for killing both of the enemy Arty, the S51 and the SU-8. And she also got a high caliber for dealing the most damage in that battle overall. And a win 8 of 5609, which is Super Unicum standard. So let's have a look at team score. Well, on team score, we can see she got the highest damage, 1 3,160 hit points. The next highest scorer was the Striv S1 she killed at the end, 2,486 hit points for him. And then came the Steel Waffenträger on our team with 2,202. Then when it came to kills, Jazz has got the highest one again, 5 kills. The next highest scorer was the Steel Waffenträger with 3, and then there's a few tanks with 2 kills apiece. And yes, Jazz has got the top in all 3 columns. She got the highest base XP, 1,091, and that wasn't enough for an ace tanker, but it was close. It must have been close. And then the next high scorer was the T71DA, got 886, and he picked up an Invader for capping out. And then the T3485M got 835, and he picked up a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else. And the P43 Turd got a cool headed. So let's have a look at detail. She fired 21 rounds in that game, got 13 direct hits and 9 penetration. It's a good gun, the 105. I think some of those shots that she actually fired, it just hit the wrong angle, and that's why it ricocheted off or it didn't go through. Damage of 3,160 hit points, of which 826 were at more than 300 meters. She received 2 hits from the enemy, and both of them were non-penetrations, and 1 hit as a result of splash damage, but that was sitting near a splash from one of the Artys, probably the S51, firing at the Scorpion G. And she happened to be sitting in the position next to that when the splash came in. She blocked damage of 780 hit points in total, spotted 3 enemy vehicles, including both Arty, and she also damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 5 of them, and did damage assistance of 507 hit points, and got 2 capture points in the cap. On a premium count, she earned 93,915 credits, and after ammunition resupply, she actually took away 42,205 credits. She received 2 bonds, one for getting the high caliber, and the other for getting the Pascuccis. And she also received 1,636 XP, times 2 for the first victory, 164 for being a premium vehicle, took away 3,437 experience points altogether. So a nice little round there by Jazz in the CDA. Now, would I recommend you get one? Well, only if you're a good TD player, and Jazz has obviously had some practice because she is good. 5609 shows she's good. The problem is really that this tank destroyer has virtually no armor on the sides and the rear, and that's why it can go so fast. If you get hit on the front, then it's okay, and you bounce, and Jazz bounced around from that Striv off her front armor, because of course it's very nicely angled at the front. But if somebody hits you in the side, the shell's going to go straight through, and then you're going to have all sorts of problems. So is it a good tank destroyer? Well, I've seen a lot of good games in it, so maybe it is one of those ones which you might want to consider for your garage. But it's certainly, I haven't got one yet myself, but I think I would like to get one, so long as Wargaming don't nerf Arty. And we want to make sure that they don't nerf Arty, because otherwise we're not going to be buying any more premiums or any gold or premium time, because it'd just be a waste if they've ruined the game for us. So, yeah, if you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.